Hi everyone, my name is Smriti and I'm the lead coach at Wysa. And we are having our AMA on a very interesting as well as painful topic. Painful because it really hurts when you're insecure and when you're feeling all sorts of feelings about your partner, uh, not loving you as much as you expect them to, or maybe feel that they're giving attention to another person. Hi, Queen. How are you? I'm doing fine. Hi, Smriti. Thanks, people, for joining in. I'm waiting for some people to join in on our YouTube also. And hi, Soparnika. Hi, everyone. I'm really hoping to learn a lot in today's discussion. Can somebody give me a thumbs up if I'm audible? Hi, Maxine. Three. Okay, Soparnika, thank you. Hi, Angie. Okay, so like you all know that our today's discussion is on insecurity in relationships and how to deal with it. And we've received a lot of questions on this. Hi, Kerry. So we've received a lot of questions on this. A lot of them are around jealousy. Why do we feel jealous? How can we not feel jealous? So let's talk a little bit about what makes us feel insecure about relationships. Hi, Roma. Uh, a lot of people experience insecurities because there are theories which say that people who've experienced insecure relationships as children also experience insecure relationships or insecurity in relationships as adults, so they haven't learned how to receive love in a trustworthy manner, or they trust. Hi, Kyla. uh, Yes, I think I'm familiar with you, Kyla. Okay. So, no, I don't run this app, Kyla, but I am the lead coach for Wysa, and I have my fellow coaches also who keep doing AMA sessions on Instagram and YouTube. And so we run these AMAs together, and there's a whole team which runs the app Wysa. There's a tech team, and there's a content team, and then there's the coach team. So there are a bunch of us together who try and make this possible, and are eager to receive feedback on how to improve the app as well as the AMA sessions. And going back to the topic, I was talking about the reasons why people feel insecure. One of them is when you have experienced the relationship as when you were growing up, if you've had experiences which are unhealthy, where your trust has been violated, or where you have had bad experiences with other people, say your peers, or where there have been a lot of critical comments that you've received while growing up from people around you, and you're constantly insecure about being abandoned, about being left alone. So that also reflects in our relationships. When we grow up, we are constantly insecure, we are constantly seeking for approval, we're constantly seeking for reassurances from our partners. Also, one of the major reasons that then arises as a cause for insecurity is our own irrational thoughts and fears that we develop because of these experiences that we've had. I'll just take a minute and thank the people who've just joined us on YouTube, a lot of them here. Thanks for coming and joining in this discussion. And I hope a lot of people share their experiences over here about overcoming insecurities in the relationships, because as a doesn't make me any better as a psychologist. If I get my husband here, he'll tell you how many times I've had fights with him and over my feelings of insecurity or jealousy with him. And I've learned with my own experiences, plus from the experiences that I receive from people via my sessions. Yeah, so we'll talk about how we will overcome these insecurities. We were discussing about uh, causes, and we'll also discuss about what to do when you feel or have these feelings. So irrational thoughts and fears that come into our mind, that fill our brain, because of the other experiences that we've had with friends or parents or other relationships, um, affect our own self-worth, affect our self-esteem. So it's more about what I feel about myself, how I view myself. Am I constantly comparing myself with my boyfriend or my girlfriend's friends? And I feel that I am not good enough, I am not worthy of love, I'm not worthy of their affection, of their attention. And these are those irrational thoughts and fears that could lead to, people feeling insecure in their relationships. So there's a cue there as to what you could do about uh, when you feel insecure. So a lot of it's to do with our own selves and how we work with our own selves and what we do with our self-esteem. Kerry says, I used to feel this way, but I began on taking responsibility for my how I felt about myself. And it was my own work to do. Yes, absolutely. It's a lot of work on one's own self. A lot of people who report feeling insecure in any part of their lives, not just relationships. It could be even at your place of work, where you are insecure because you feel that you'll be the first one who will be chucked out of your job, your boss will get upset with you, your peers think you're not worth it. It's so much to do with our own perception of who we are, how we rate ourselves on that scale that we constantly measure ourselves on in comparison to others. And with our, rather, it should be with our own self, our own past experiences, and how we are growing from our past till now. That should be our path to take. Hi, Dani. Manu says, Steph says, how does one handle their partner being with people that have expressed feeling for them? Steph, that's a very difficult one. If I was in your place, I would actually feel, yes, a little insecure. But look at your own relationship. Are you feeling loved? Are you feeling supported by your partner? Is your partner open about coming and telling you that, I was with this person and I know they have feelings, but yet you feel that bond and then confidence in your relationship, then it's all going good. So I think softly, gently telling your partner that, this may be the case, you would be feeling like that, and getting some reassurances from them would help. At the same time, evaluating your own relationship, how you feel about it. Are you getting any insights about, are you comparing your relationship with other people's relationships? This happens a lot these days because we are always on social media stalking other people's pictures of their relationship on the beach and parties, and this is how they are enjoying themselves, and it's missing in my life. But what we see on the outside on these social media accounts may not be the actual reality of what the two people may be experiencing in their relationships. It's only those two people involved who know what you're going through in a relationship. So comparing yourselves with anyone else or any your partner with any other person's partner, your friend's partner or husband or girlfriend or wife or whoever, you would not really know the nitty-gritties of what's happening amongst them, what's happening uh, with them in their relationship. You know your relationship the best. So whether it is your partner being friends with people who have expressed feelings for them, but your partner is able to maintain that distance and is being honest with you, I think that should give you that confidence that yes, he or she is not cheating on me or is not indulging in anything that that would affect you. Reader number 7 says, is it possible to overcome insecurities without any external help? Is help from others really necessary? I don't think so. It's all that external help will always be necessary. It is only it's only about how discomfort, what kind of discomfort you're feeling, what is the distress you're feeling. Have you tried and uh, talked about it with your partner? What kind of responses have you received from there? Are you feeling like there's no hope? Do you want a third person's perspective? Because sometimes when we are involved in a relationship, the engagement with the other person is so deep and intense that sometimes having an objective view, an outside view, is very important, because we need someone to kind of look at us and tell us that yes, this is what I think is happening in your relationship, and this is where your insecurities are stemming from. Sometimes we fail to realize that your insecurities would be arising from, like I said, some past experiences that you've had, which were of unsuccessful relationships, or being ill treated by an ex boyfriend or girlfriend, or maybe have had bad relationships as a kid with the adults around you. And this out external person would be able to guide you in those situations where you're unable to analyze yourself about what is happening in your relationship, or what is happening with you with regards to the insecurity that you're feeling. Crazy Zombie says, well, right now I'm in a strange moment in the relationship. Uh, I'm just going to scroll up a little because I think I missed the message. If I feel like I don't love him sometimes, should I try to wait for this feeling to end, or tell him? Maybe it's just a matter of time and I feel my love strong like before. I think we should be expressive and honest about our feelings with ourselves, and if necessary, with the other person, to let them know what we are feeling. Um Sometimes there are highs and lows we experience in any relationship in our life. The black and whites come in, the shades of gray come in. There'll be a love hate relationship at times where you'll feel absolutely in love with the person and absolutely not in love with them the very next minute because of something that's happened. Yet, if you are being able to be honest about it with yourself, that yes, this is what I'm feeling, and I feel it's temporary, and I need that space for myself to be able to process something that I'm experiencing, or maybe it's about giving space to another person with regards to what they're experiencing, and that can help you uh, you know uh, decide your next steps. Inspire with Emily Jade says, my ex cheated on me with 35 women when my daughter was 1 year old. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's at totally at another level. He was very abusive as well from the domestic violence in that relationship. And I've been diagnosed with PTSD. I have other issues too. I absolutely empathize with you, inspire with Emily Jade, and I'm sorry this happened with you. Nobody deserves to be abused or cheated on like that. And I think it's more about your partner and his personality. It's not at all about you. And I hope you're taking therapy, and I hope you're seeking help on helping you deal with the trauma that you've faced, and you're able to, you know, uh, process all of it and then move on in your life. It's hard though, but I think it's essential for you to work on these lines to have a healthy, happy concept of yourself and your relationship with your own self. Because it's absolutely not about you. It's totally about the person who did it, and then it's best to be not be with them and to think about them. Angry Game says that my boyfriend cheated in the beginning of a relationship, and I've never gotten over it, no matter how much he apologizes or proves that he won't do it again. What do I do? I don't want to lose him. This is something which we experience a lot around us, where the attachment with someone is so intense, and even though they have cheated, and even though they have lied to us at some point in our lives, and it's hurt us really bad, but we do not want to let them go, because that's the level of attachment that you experience, and the void that you fear would happen once they go would make you want to cling to this person even more strongly. If you are taking this choice of wanting to believe him and wanting to give him that chance, then that's a choice that you're making. And the first thing that comes here is that, are you willing to trust yourself on that decision? Are you willing to stick with the consequences that may come up? He may actually prove right by about his apology that he will not repeat it again. And so do you want to give him that chance? What are your reasons for giving him that chance? Those reasons, that motivation for you to continue this relationship is really important. So Panika says, what do you do when you feel your partner is too good for you? So Panika, I think this is that case that we were talking about, that scenario where it's our uh, low self-esteem and our low self-worth, feeling of low self-worth that we struggle with, that may have crept into our minds because of our earlier experiences as a kid, while growing up with peers, can make us feel that I'm not worth the person I have in my life. And it's very important that if you're having these feelings, you do take a stock of yourself, look at what you're bringing to the relationship. Your boyfriend would have a set of traits that you really like. He may be handsome, he may be funny, he may be intelligent, he may be supportive. Are you being able to, and what are you bringing to the relationship? Are you loving? Are you supportive? Don't compare yourself with the kind of traits he has. You may have very different traits. It's not that we'll be equals in all ways with our friends or with a partner, or with people whom we are in a relationship with. We may not bring in the same set of traits or values. We may have our own self, and that's it. Just be you, because if your boyfriend likes you and he's there with you in the relationship, he likes you for who you are, and I'm sure he doesn't want you to become like him. And just be you, just do you, and have that faith about yourself. Keep that faith alive in yourself as a person, that the traits I have, what I am offering, what I am bringing to the relationship is something that my partner is enjoying with me. And that should help. And if it doesn't help, then it's important that we learn how to silence that inner critic that keeps on poking its ugly head up each time, and then says these ugly statements about our self-worth and about uh, uh, about our self-esteem, and brings down the low confidence. So look at the instances, look at the experiences in your relationship. How have they been so far? Your partners may have appreciated you for many things, and people may have complimented you on many things as a part of that relationship. So look at evidences that support or are contrary for the kind of statement, the harsh critical statements that you may be getting in your head about yourself, and then challenge them. Kimberly says, I've struggled with insecurities in most of my relationships. I suffer from severe anxiety as well, and as I know that plays a huge part. What can I do to remind myself that I'm enough? Kimberly, you've raised a really important point. I think a lot of people would resonate with it. That, and also, like I was answering Swaparnika's question, that a lot of people struggle from insecurities, not just in one part of the relationship. Sometimes it spills over into their workplace, it spills into their other relationships, because it's mostly to do with fitting into a certain picture or image that either you have built in your mind, or it's arising from the expectations from other people, the kind of expectations they project from you, or you're constantly trying to be the people pleaser because you don't want to offend them in some ways, or get into the bad books, or probably be left alone, the fear of abandonment. There could be multiple things that could be affecting you and your feeling of self-esteem at that point, Kimberly. Then again, it's time to pause and take a deep breath. Not one, two, three, four, at least 10 times. Each time you have such thoughts, take a rest your back against a chair or wherever you're sitting. Count till 10, take a deep breath, and then ask yourself, what is it that I feel is missing in me? What is it that's affecting my self esteem to this level? Why am I feeling anxious? Who are these people I'm trying to please? And it's frankly really impossible to please everyone that you have in your life, and various relationships that you have in your life. And if people are constantly expecting you, and you're constantly trying to do that, you're ignoring yourself, you're not being the person you are, you're changing yourself for someone else, then you'll always be kind of struggling with that anxiety. That's really going to happen. Comparing yourself with anyone else and feeling that I'm not good enough is something that a lot of people struggle with. So, what you can do to remind yourself is to look at your past instances, look at take a stock of your qualities, what you think is you something that you in you that you're proud of, What do you think that you are bringing to people that you find is probably missing in other people around you? There are a lot of sensitive, empathetic people I have met in my clinical work. I have met during my in my life, in my own personal relationships, where they're constantly giving and they're constantly struggling to keep relationships alive just on their own, because they're always trying to please people, because they always feel that they are not good enough, or they have that perfect image that they want to project outside them, that they will do anything to keep uh, the relationship alive, but they will not take care of themselves. And ultimately, how we discussed in the AMA on self care and self compassion, that goes down. You keep ignoring your own needs, and then that starts affecting your health. And then again, it's a vicious cycle which will increase a lot of your insecurities about then not being good enough, because then you won't be able to do all that you are trying to do in your life, in your relationships. Alva says, why do I like my partner one day and not the next? Nothing changes from day to day. It's going great, but I can't force myself to commit to them emotionally. Uh, and Mish B says, can you speak on trust issues in general? Uh, I'm just quickly reading the question and kind of, compile the answers and give. And there are more questions, which some, so my, I guess my Andrea says, my question is, my lost relationship ended mostly because of my boyfriend's job, and because of his job change he said he would reach out. Pooja says, I have a friend who's really close to me. If I don't if I'm in love with him, but I don't like it at all when I see him getting closer to someone else. So, so okay. So coming back to the first question, where Alva says, "I don't. Why do I like my partner one day and don't the next? Nothing changes from day to day. It's going great, but I can't force myself to commit to them emotionally." Alva, you would probably have to evaluate your own feelings honestly for your partner. What is it that you're expecting from them? What is it that you're expecting from the relationship? Are you looking at it as just friendship? Are you wanting to invest it emotionally and take it to the next step? uh, what is it about the relationship or your role in the relationship that you're finding it hard to commit about? That is something that you should be looking at. Trust issues, again, Mish, can arise because of a lot of issues. They could arise because of, like I have been repeatedly saying since the starting of this program, that insecure attachment in childhood or bad experiences with relationships as you're growing up could lead to deep seated feelings of mistrust on anyone other than your own self, and sometimes even your own self. So anybody who approaches you and wants to form a bond with you, you can, the feelings of being hurt by that person can take over, and the feelings of being probably taken for granted by that person can come over you, and that will affect your relationships. And one way to bridge this gap that exists between you're wanting to be with someone and you're again not being able to trust them is, one, probably try and speak to that person about it. Sometimes the reassurances that they provide can really help. You evaluate your own reasons for why you're feeling those kind of trust issues. What is it? Are you comparing that person with your past, your boyfriend or girlfriend, your ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, or ex-partner, whoever that person is? And you feel that I'll be hurt the same way as the person earlier in my life did. And then look at what your relationship is like right now. Are you feeling cared for by this person? Does this person respect your boundaries? That's very important. A lot of people who experience issues with mistrust have had experiences earlier in life where their boundaries have not been respected. They have been taken granted for. They have been made to do things, probably like somebody else mentioned earlier, where there was abusive relationships. So is that certain these kind of things which are happening in your relationship that's affecting how you trust or mistrust another person? In what ways? Reader number 7 says, In what way insecurities can make someone toxic? How do I realize if I'm becoming toxic? Great question, Andrea. Toxicity can be seen if you see yourself becoming over possessive, if you see yourself becoming crossing the boundaries that are meant to be respected, that you would want the other person to respect for your own self, probably going and checking someone's phone, their social media accounts, stalking them, constantly asking them to tell you where they are going, constantly tracking them. So basically, uh, just that thought about where they are, who they are with, what are they doing, are they lying to you, are they cheating on you, becomes like the center of your world, and your entire focus gets distracted. You feel unhealthy, and the other person feels suffocated in the relationship with you. The arguments may be increasing, and at the same time, somewhere you may believe that you may realize that it's irrational, but you're being unable to control it. So those are some signs where you would realize that the normal jealousy or insecurity that we may feel in our relationship is leading to uh, turning into something toxic. Just Digital Me says, maybe try to treat it in the same way as you would treat someone detoxing from drugs. Don't take emotional responsibility for his relapses. It's no reflection on what you're doing. It's a really nice suggestion and a strategy. Just Digital Me. They also say you can be supportive in everything, but don't let it bring you down. Absolutely. So it should not affect your self-esteem and your own self-worth. And maintaining your emotional independence is really important. So don't let your partner become the source of security, happiness, sense of fulfillment, the sole source of sense of fulfillment, or somebody who validates your presence for you. You should be able to do it for your own self. That's one of the key things that as individuals we should be working towards, that you should be able to feel emotionally independent by with your own self. Your own sense should be able to provide that security to you. If you are secure, you would bring in that secure confident self in the relationship, and that definitely would be a better version of you. My partner suffers from severe gender dysphoria and is very insecure. He fetishes his dysphoria, and his porn addiction adds to his insecurities, which he constantly projects onto me. How do I help us? It's a very sensitive question, and I don't think I'll be able to answer it completely over here. But I think supporting your partner by reassuring them about uh, uh, the gender dysphoria that the thoughts that they are having about it, and also probably suggesting them to seek help outside for it for themselves, and saying that you would be, supportive in that process, in that journey with them, that you would be staying with them in their journey of seeking that help, would help both of you. Damini asks, my last relationship was emotionally abusive. I have insecurities about the way I look. I'm not able to commit to anyone now because I'm not physically or emotionally attached to a new guy. I'm sorry, Damini, that you had to go through an emotionally abusive relationship. I have always empathized with people. I've had a very bad breakup myself when I was uh, with my first relationship that I had, and it was not a very healthy one. And I'm lucky that my next relationship culminated into my marriage, and it's pretty nice now. And like I said, I've had that phase where I was constantly comparing my earlier relationship and the fears and the irrational thoughts that came into my head because of my relationship onto my current relationship and my current partner, where there were a lot of concerns with him talking to his female colleagues, and his going out with his female friends, and his just talking about them would make me upset at that point in time. And so I can understand how past abusive relationships can really damage your current relationships to some extent. And it also impacts the way you perceive yourself. Like Damini says, she's perceiving herself as unattractive and she's not being able to commit to anyone now because I'm not physically or emotionally attracted to a new guy. Give yourself some time, Damini. The healing process does take some time. Remember to tell yourself, like just digital me was suggesting, that it is a process which may take some time, but it's more reflection on the other person than it is about you. You did not do anything to invite that emotionally or physically abusive relationship or behavior towards yourself. It's absolutely reflective of that person, and do not let that get to you. uh, Thanks, Gary, for your wonderful comments that you are putting on Instagram. I'm quickly also looking at people who've written here. Self love, taking care of your own needs is really important. That's absolutely right, Gary, because unless we are able to give that to ourselves, unless we are able to feel secure about our own selves, feel confident about our own selves, it is going to reflect as insecurity in the relationship, because we'll be constantly battling with comparison with people your partner would interact with, or comparing yourself even with your own partner. Like so Pandika had asked that, I think my that what if your boyfriend is too good? If they're too good, it's good, and I'm sure the other person feels the same about you. You also have to feel the same thing about you, that I'm too good for myself. And I remember there's an Indian movie in which the actress says that I'm I am the best, and I love myself because I am the best. So it's not arrogance. It's a positive affirmation that makes you feel confident about your own self, that makes you feel confident as a person. And when you are confident about yourself and you like yourself the way you are, then there are less chances of your feeling insecure about your partner going out or meeting other people or being with people who like them, have expressed feeling towards them. So trust yourself, be you, challenge and examine your irrational thoughts. And if actually your partner is doing something which is disrespect in some form, which is abusive in some form, or they have actually cheated on you, and you do not want to go ahead with them because you feel the discomfort in trusting them again, then take that stand for yourself, and then there's no looking back. So there is no point giving up your self-respect and feeling hurt and continuing into a relationship which you feel is not giving you that support, that love, that respect that you want. And then moving ahead is the right step to take. We'll be winding down now. I know there are a lot of questions that have been asked and have not been answered. I'll try and answer them via text messages. And uh, we'll probably continue this in the next 1 or 2 weeks. A lot of I'll take just one more question. Then Vanchika says, I feel confused about a friend I'm attracted to when I'm having a difficult time with my boyfriend. How do I resolve my feelings? Vanchika, this is something which a lot of people who are experiencing a breakup or who are experiencing conflicts in the relationship experience. When you feel that void inside you, it's natural to get attracted or to look for that supportive shoulder in someone else. So probably that's happening with you when you're feeling that attraction towards your friend. And it's at that this point in time that you need to take a step back, put a check on yourself, and ask yourself these questions: that what I'm experiencing is very temporary, and the when the conflicts with my boyfriend would resolve or girlfriend would resolve, I would actually not think about this person like this. Or if you feel too strongly about this person and you feel that the conflicts with your partner are beyond resolution, then you could take the other step as well. Or you could actually speak to a third person, a counselor or somebody else, and take the help and resolve your feelings. I think we would end our show here because the AMA here. And I hope to connect with you very soon next week. And we'll try and answer these questions in text. And I've had a great experience listening to your experiences. and listening to your strategies. Thanks everyone for joining in, and bye, and everyone have a great day.